Oh, hello, everyone. Welcome to the D League Podcast, episode 3 of the 2024 season. We are post draft. We are post draft. We are now a mere 23 hours from football starting, which means it's time for lineups. It's time for last minute waiver moves that ruin your entire season. It's time for overthinking it. It's time for auto starts. It's time for Langton and people like Dusty to basically win the league for the first 6 months or 6 weeks, that kind of thing. So, welcome in. I'm your host, Austin. I'm your only host. We didn't get a guest tonight. The only volunteer was Tom, and I don't think he was prepared. He seemed to think that joining the podcast was a last resort. And we don't really want that kind of energy here. We want people that are excited. We want people that are first in, last out, lunch pail kind of guys. Hit the film room, bring a lot to the NFL discussion, kind of like Jameson, somebody who is a real football head, knows the ins and outs of the game, that kind of thing. So what I will be doing, we'll be going through all the leagues. I'm going to give some previews as far as who I think is going to be the title winner and who's going to be the worst player in their league. And I'm also going to give you a couple of future bets because I've actually been pretty successful in my future bets. Last year, I got Myles Garrett Defensive Player of the Year. I got Mahomes MVP 2 years ago. Justin Jefferson leading the league in receiving yards 2 years ago. Tyreek Hill leading the league in receiving yards last year, and Tua leading the league in receiving or passing yards last year. So all of those basically made up for all of my year-long shitty bets, and I'm hoping to do the same this time. So if you are like Tom and you want to subscribe to my betting advice, do it for this one episode only and then never listen to me again. Because I usually get advice from Tishan, and Tishan is fucking terrible. All right, with that being said, let's go into my futures. The first one is this is the one I'm going 3 for 3 on. So I had Jefferson 2 years ago. I had Tyreek Hill last year. I'm going CeeDee Lamb to lead the league in receiving yards. Next up, I'm going David Montgomery to lead the league in touchdowns, rushing touchdowns. I just think he's incredible. He's the best running back in the entire league, and Dan Campbell knows that. He's a hard-nosed guy, first in, last out. He's basically, I almost said fullback, but that's not really true. He's just a beast. I'm going to go Alex Singleton. I think he's on the Lions. I don't know. I heard this on some random podcast that they think he's going to lead the league in tackles and assist tackles. So go ahead and do that. I got the Iowa State Cyclones winning the Big 12 because why the fuck not? Then I have CJ Stroud to lead the league in passing yards. DK Metcalf to lead the league in touchdowns. He has been one of the highest receivers in the NFL in the last like 4 or 5 years in targets in the end zone. So who knows? Most interception thrown. That's Daniel Jones, one of the worst QBs to ever do it. Somehow going to be a starter the entire year. So I feel like that's mostly a safe bet. I feel like if you have like a oh who's a Florida State guy? Winston, where you're throwing 50 touchdowns, they keep you in, even though you threw 50 picks. Jones could maybe do that if he's running in a couple of touchdowns and feeding Malik Neighbors. And then odds to win the most passing touchdowns, Brock motherfucking Purdy. He's got Debo, he's got Shittle, he's got Ayuk now with a big fat contract. And he's a really good quarterback. I could see them feeding Purdy a lot of TDs. So tail those if you want to win a lot of money. Be a Tyler and Renner if you would rather lose all year and then lose at the end of the year. Because I usually make my money back, unlike those two fucking clowns. All right, on to league previews. Let's go Guggenheim first, the first and best. I'll share my screen here. Cats are going all over the fucking place right now. All right, so we have Guggenheim. If you go through the projections, Guggenheim is pretty close to parity. It's pretty much everybody over 110, with the exception of one, and that's wait. Okay, well, all right. In the fucking half hour that I was out at the bar to now, Zachar's projection went up. What? 10 points? All right. Never mind. There goes that. So anyway, champ, I'm gonna pick Zachar. Which I was gonna say because I'm gonna zig when everyone else zags because his projection was at 104, but he must have not had a defense or something. Yeah, that makes sense. He just picked up a defense. And then for the champ is gonna be Zachar. Worst is going to be Andrew McMurray. I mean, McMurray already tried to quit the league and then he got bullied into it. The guy's just going to quit next year anyway. This was pointless. Just get him out. I'm not really interested in fucking losers that want to leave the league after 1 year. This isn't your mom's league. This isn't your family league where you can just come in and come out. If you want to bail, bail. We'll bail on you and we will shrink the league down to the original 4. That'd be amazing. Next up, we're going to go with Herman German. As it loads. I was thinking about this because the matchups, or not matchups, the projections here. So with Guggenheim, it was pretty interesting. Originally, there was only one person, Zachar, that was not projected to be in the 110s ish. Now Zachar got a defense, and now he isn't even in the 110. So the entire of Guggenheim is 110 and above. Contrast that to Herman German, and there's 4 people that are not projected to hit 110. So you talk about parity, you talk about Guggenheim. You don't talk about pretty much any of these other leagues. All of us are absolute beasts. We just joined a little, or not we, but everybody else just joined a little too late. Nick Stembo is the highest in the league at 118. I think I had him as my title game winner for Herman German, and then Goose to be last place because Goose is pretty much always last place. All right, on to Blipto. Let's go champ. This is another one parity wise. There's 120. That's Moran. Everybody else is in the mid to early 110s. I had Joe Crispin actually as my champion. Look at this team. He's got Josh Allen, Breece Hall. That's 1-1 and 1-1. Alvin Kamara. I mean, it doesn't matter how bad the Saints are. Kamara's going to produce. Same thing with Mike Evans. I'm a little worried with Malik Neighbors because Daniel Jones is one of the worst QBs in the league, but McLaurin is a beast. Evan Ingram might be a tight end, I don't know, 2 or 3. Javante, I have him in a dynasty league, so I really, really hope he takes over that number 1 spot for Sean Payton, not Sean McVay. And then Tucker and Dallas are 2 of the best special teams you can get. So yeah, I feel like if everybody stays healthy, that team is pretty gnarly. The worst is going to be Josh Nelson by far. He drafted the entire Detroit team. Detroit's defense was atrocious last year. There's going to be some fall off from 1 or 2 positions for sure. You can't keep up everybody scoring. And wait, where the fuck is it? Oh, high on victory. That's it. Tua mid. Jonathan Taylor, I have him, so I hope he's good. Joe Mixon is one of the worst starting run backs in the league. He's just a volume guy. Puka, love Puka. Ayuk just got paid an insane amount of money to be mid. Xavier Worthy weighs 110 pounds. Jake Ferguson is a big fat white guy. Montgomery is the best running back in the league. Some guy I've never heard of is a field goal kicker. And then the Lions. So you lock down the Lions special teams. No way that goes wrong. Yeah. It's doomed. All right, so then we'll go to new or Peters Cuervo. All right. Champ, I'm gonna go Pentech actually. So I go to the Kansas Comet. He's got Mahomes, Brees, Montgomery. Might be a little bit of bias here, but having the two best running backs in the entire league, I certainly think helps you. I'm not sure about Calvin Ridley. He's 45 years old and has played 3 years. Keon Coleman is a nothing burger. Uh, Devonta Smith, hopefully he takes over as the number one. Kelsey, old. Singletary, fine player on the worst offense in the league. But I'm basically picking Pentatech because of the top three. Mahomes, Brees, and Montgomery can get you, I don't know, 70 points by themselves. So I can see that being. Oh my fucking. I just realized with the way that this fucking talk studio works that you have to share your screen and then you have to click show on stream. This entire time I've been babbling, nobody can see my screen because whoever fucking designed this thing thought that sharing the screen was not the same as showing it on the actual stream. Incredible. All right. Anyway, Peters Cuervo is going to be Pentech champ. Worst. I think I had TJ Schmidt. Yeah. Let's check this out here. Which one? Which one? Oh, I guess it could be the auto draft. They did have an auto draft expensive, but I think TJ's even worse than an auto drafter. Yeah, Deshaun Watson's the worst quarterback in the league. I think Devon Achane is really good, but he's yeah, this is the most polarizing player I think in the entire draft. He could be like number one overall or just fade into nothingness. Mike Evans, excellent. T. Higgins is nothing. Dallas Goddard is the number one tight end. Keenan Allen is fat and old and shitty. Amari Cooper is fat and old and shitty. Cairo Santos is a Chicago kicker, so that's a nothing. He only has two players, actually. He has McCaffrey and Achane and Evans. Okay, so three. The rest of his team is complete dog shit. So he'll get last. He'll maybe win one game. Let's go on to Newhall. We have. I'm gonna pick Skelt. Skelt the Delt. He had the amazing email. He's got the Cousins Bijan Robinson stack. DeAndre Swift, I think, is kind of underrated here. I don't think he's a particularly good player. His vision is basically zero, but he is fast. I'm hoping Garrett Wilson pans out because I have him too. Devontae Adams is incredible. Pittman, Ingram, McLaurin. I have McLaurin as well. So I'm picking him basically because if he does well, then that means my team also is going to do pretty well. Worst, I'm going to go B-Nels. B-Nels basically does one of two things. He either wins the entire league or gets last. And he won it last year, so I'm going to pick him to go last. And this matches up because CJ Stroud is good. Pacheco's good. He has J.K. Dobbins, who might honestly not even be the running back one. Rome Odunze is a rookie behind two other wide receivers. Kyle Pitts has a hamstring injury. Brian Thomas is a rookie. Tyler Bass doesn't kick in a dome. And the Philadelphia defense was the worst defense in the league for the last like 8 weeks of the season. So this is a team that's going to go, I don't know, 3-14. But flags fly for everybody. Let's go on to new Old Hall. The worst team I think is going to be Mesick. And let's go down to Mesick here. I want to say Corey, but Corey is missing a defense and kicker, and he'll soon rectify that. Where is... Oh, Float's on fire. There we go. He is 120, so this is one of the highest projected teams, but I can see this going wrong very, very quickly. James Conner is pretty old. He's almost 30. So at any moment, Trey Benson can take it over. AJ Brown's very good. Keenan Allen is reportedly weighing 350 pounds. He eats cheeseburgers on the daily. Jordan Addison is one DUI away from being arrested and taken away forever. Sam Laporta was propped up by an absolutely insane touchdown rate last year. He's also an Iowa tight end, so he will only let you down. Devin Singletary, I mentioned this earlier. He plays for the Giants, so starting a running back for the Giants is one of the worst things you can ever do. And then, yeah, I mean, his entire bench is low, low, low upside guys. Khalil Shakir is nothing. Rashid Shaheed's nothing. Josh Palmer actually could be good, but Myers and Polk and Pollard are all useless. So, yeah, we're gonna go worst Misek. I'm gonna go champ. I think it was gonna be Sinan Cigaros. I love Murray. I love Gibbs. Cook I think is gonna be really good. Wilson's great. Metcalf I have winning most touchdowns. Pickens is he's a flash player. The double tight end set I think is something that people don't do because they're scared of it, but I think it could be quite fruitful. Outside of Devonte Adams, Brock Bowers might be the best receiver on the team. They're going to be really bad, so going to be throwing a lot. So yeah, Josh Reiner, two-time champ. I'm going to pick that. And let's go on to presidents, the lowest of the leagues. I believe I picked J Long for his third title. Look at this team. Anthony Richardson could be the QB1. Derrick Henry, absolutely beast position to be in. Raheem Mostert, the number one overall running back last year, or number two, I guess next to Christian McCaffrey. AJ Brown was a top 10 wide receiver. Cooper Kupp is healthy now, can be top five. Metcalf, like I said multiple times, going to lead the league in receiving touchdowns. Njoku, I actually think Njoku's going to suck dick because Deshaun Watson is terrible and doesn't throw the tight end. So this is a wasted pick. Austin Eckler is 400 years old, but you can put anybody else in your, like Javonte, into your flex and be fine. Tyler Ass, just drop him. I'm thinking I'm going to drop him at some point. He was terrible last year. And then New Orleans, I mean, tying anything to Bruce Allen, or not Bruce Allen, Dennis Allen is a bad idea. Their defense is getting super, super old. They're going to be not favored in anything because Derek Carr is total ass. So I would ditch that and get somebody else. But what do I know? You already have two titles and I don't. So anyway, I'm gonna champ. I'm gonna go Jay Long again, and then for the worst, I'm gonna go one of the Vanjas. Both of their teams are fucking atrocious, like some of the worst I've ever seen. Let's go do James, CJ Stroud, good. Jonathan Taylor, good. James Cook, good. Marvin Harrison, way overpaid for a rookie wide receiver. Stephon Diggs. He actually admitted in our interview that neither one of the teams that got rid of him wanted to get rid of him. It was his own thing. So that's the definition of it. You're not the problem. I am. Stephon Diggs is going to be the wide receiver 3 for Houston. He's old and a fucking baby. Everyone else is better than him. Rome Odunze, he's third on the pecking order. So you have two wide receiver 5s here. And then George Shittle, he has 2 good games a year. Also another tight ends, 2 tight end set. Jake Ferguson, great, congrats. You're the number 8 tight end. You scored less than a running back, I don't know, 6. So yeah, Vaughn, that's over. Pack it in. And then let's go Sam Von G. Where did he go? I knew his was really bad too. Yeah. Lamar and McCaffrey, beast. Zamir White, he's the starting running back on one of the worst teams in the NFL. Chris Olave has Derek Carr throwing to him. Michael Pittman has a running back thrown to him. George Pickens is bad. Travis Kelce is 35. Lad McConkey is named Lad McConkey. Justin Tucker is getting old and actually he's number 2, so he's fine. Yeah, special teams are okay. But yeah, you have a guy on IR on your team for some reason. We don't have an IR spot. Somebody should tell Sam Von G that. You don't need to worry about that, buddy. But yeah, there we go. For waivers, pretty much everybody's picking up Samaje Perine, but Guggenheim and Presidents, he's still out there. So that should tell you something. Perine is not worth picking up. He's the same thing as every other injury away running back. If you have other ones like Akers or I don't know, whoever the fucking Colts running back is, it's just as useful keeping them. Um, Oh, I just opened the chat. The hat is rad. Thanks, Freeze. Yeah, I got it at the fair on Monday. We had a fantastic time at the fair. Actually, we had some Pronto pups. Had a bunch of beers. The beers were actually kick ass. Um, yeah, I got a hat. I got a sweater with Fairchild, which is the gopher on it. Um, Iowa State won. It seemed, I don't know if anybody else saw this, but it seemed like we didn't have the ball for the vast majority of the game. So we won 21-3, but our defense was on the field for like 95% of the game, which is pretty concerning, especially when you look at last year. Like we lost to Memphis. Our offense put up like 30 plus points, and we still lost by like 20. We got the shit kicked out of us by KU. I mean, just KU wide receivers running wide open. So I'm wondering if like, are we getting to the point now where the offense is taking just leaps and bounds and Heacock can't keep up? You know, because last year's defense was really, 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 really bad. I'm a little concerned, but anyway, I do think with this increased offensive production, no, Jalen Knowles a beast in college football 25. Higgins is a beast. Abu Sama's a beast. Rocco Beck's a beast. Like they have our offense cooking in the video game. I just hope the defense can keep up. What else is out here, folks? We can check some news. I think some hot takes for the NFL season. I think Green Bay is going to miss the playoffs. So are the 49ers. I think they'll be good, but the 49ers are missing Drake Greenlaw. I think with all the drama between Trent Williams and Ayuk, they're just not going to be focused. You can't lose the Super Bowl twice with the same crew of people and not be affected by it. I think the Vikings will be better than people think, but that will only serve to ruin their draft pick. Um, I think the Chiefs will win the Super Bowl for the first time. It'll be a three-peat. And I mean, unless you don't know ball, uh, or sorry, I worded that wrong. Patrick Mahomes is the best football player of all time, like bar none. He's the best NFL player ever. If you don't know ball, you think it's still Brady, but it's not. Hello. Okay. Uh, oh yeah. So yeah, my wife is joining her own league for the first time this year, and asking how to set it up and how people join it and draft and all that stuff. So might do some updates on that throughout the year just to see how an auto drafted wife team does compared to some of the sharks in this league. Um, yeah, I don't have much else. I think as far as waivers goes, there's just Samaje Perine. Nobody really dropped anybody. There was one, I think, that Tishan texted me that Jordan Brooks was picked up for free or for $5, which is fine. I think Jordan Brooks is going to be out for quite a while. But yeah, I think Chubb could be a big nightmare for me. I didn't see anywhere else and across all the leagues that Chubb got dropped. So everyone else knows something that I clearly don't. Um, we often talk about league losing moves, especially early in the season. And I think that could be it for me. But all right, I don't have anything else, and I don't want to babble and waste everyone's time. So this is going to be a short one. Next week we'll have results. We'll have waivers. Maybe we'll have some trades. Maybe we'll have a guest. Maybe Tom will grace me with his presence. Could be good. All right. Bye, everyone.